Welcome to Destiny Digits. This is going to be the Soul Urge number 2 reading. In numerology, your soul urge talks about your motivation. These are the energies that drive you to pursue something. In astrology, just like you would know your sun, moon, rising, Venus, or north node, in numerology, you have your core chart numbers. There are 4 numbers: your life path, your expression, your soul urge, and your birthday. This is your 3rd number in your core chart, right? And so if you don't know how to find any of the 4 numbers for the readings that I'm going to be giving energetically, use the links in the description box. I think most of us are comfortable with our life path. We find that by our date of birth. Our expression is found using our full birth name. Our soul urge is found using only the vowels present in our full birth name. And then our birthday number, so simple, is used just using the day of birth, not the weekday, but the number day. So if you're born on the 22nd, your birthday number would be 22. Very simple. So if you don't know how to find your 4 numbers, use the links in the description box and then find the video that correlates. Alrighty, so let's talk about what it means to be a 2. I picked 3, I pulled from shuffling, 3 crystal reading cards. We have empowerment, ancestors, and new beginnings. At the bottom of the deck, we have joy. So this is like really pretty. So what does it mean to be a 2? What does it mean to be motivated when your soul is pushed by the energy of 2? Well, 2s are cooperative people, right? They're really good partners, great team players. They work well with others to achieve a goal, right? So that means that you are a peaceful person, a sensitive person, very diplomatic, romantic, and intuitive, very warm, right? So those are the energies that drive you when we are talking about completing our soul mission. Now, those are very positive energies, but we know that energy fluctuates high and low. So, some of the descriptors that I just said, those are high vibrations of 2. Now, when we're operating on the lower end of a 2, we can be dishonest, resentful, easily offended, withdrawn, overly sensitive. So those are all the energies that we could carry if our experiences and relationships in life weren't really giving us a path to be our greatest, right? So keep that in mind and know that as we read this, as we unfold in this reading, you are driven by your ability to adapt and cooperate with life and with others. You make places peaceful. You're peaceful. You want to be peaceful. You don't like, conflict. If anything, you can become reclusive when struggles happen. But in your best aspect energetically of what it means to be a soul urge 2 is you just want everything to be good for everyone. At the bottom of the deck, we have joy. Okay? How are we going to feel joyful? How are we going to make sure that we can achieve this overall energy? 3 ways. Empowerment, right? So this is understanding who you are. And how do you understand who you are? Well, you look at where you've come from and you decide to tell a story. You decide to believe a thought. You decide to behave in a way that uplifts you. That when you tell the story to yourself about yourself, you should always be, and I don't mean this in an egotistical way, but you should always be a hero, right? And what I mean by that is you don't tell a story that writes an ending for you that shows no growth, right? So as you write this story, you have to have a perspective that is expanded, right? You can't be so absorbed in the details in life that you can't look at the bigger picture to understand spiritually why all of this was necessary for your journey. So when we're talking about empowerment, you need to walk in a way that empowers your story, your journey, but also others, right? Because most times we treat others the same way we treat ourselves. When you need to tap into your power, your gifts, when you need to learn how to hold your head high, you have protection, connection, and communication with your ancestors. Every step you take is a step on a journey that began before you, right? And so you are continuing a journey. And all those that walk the same path as you are requiring you, are needing you to know that they exist, they support you. And when you are feeling lost or weak or depressed or you have no clarity, find empowerment in the connections that came before you, right? Because they support you, they selected you, they need you. And so when you can't provide yourself with confirmations of who you are and what your strengths are, Spirit is saying that there is something more available to you that is right with you, helping you when times seem low or dark. Right? So use the energy of 2 and cooperate with your ancestors. Use the energy of 2 and adapt to the shifts in your life by not telling stories that remove all power and hope and faith. Right? Speak to yourself in a way that doesn't end the story, but it keeps it going because you have something else to do, see, say, and be for others. At the bottom, we have new beginnings. So it is through this new found empowerment and connection with your ancestors that is going to propel you and prepare you for a new life beginning, right? And so these 2 energies come as a result of healing that took place. Now that you've healed anything that sucked your power away, now that you understand who you are and where you came from, you are finally prepared for this new beginning. If we were to combine empowerment, ancestors, and new beginnings, Spirit's overall message is saying you are about to experience joy, right? And it is these 3 things that are going to give you the joy that you desire. All right. Let's get 3 numerology cards. This is from the deck that I created. Okay, really? Way more than 3. From the deck that I created. And they just have words that either reveal the high or the low of numbers 1 through 9, and then master numbers 11 and 22. Come on. And then after this for tarot, I like to do a 9 card. I'm going to take the 3 that didn't flip. 9 card box spread. There's 4 here, whatever. Okay, next to empowerment, we have nurturing and stable. Nurture yourself. Be stable in your mind, your emotions, and your behaviors, right? Don't be all over the place. Put love into the situation. Pour love into you. Grow yourself. Build yourself. Everything you do for you needs to, it's almost like you treat yourself like a baby, not in a coddling way, but like, we are so gentle with babies because we understand how delicate they are and we don't want to hurt them. Treat yourself in that way. Next to ancestors, we have peaceful and sensitive. So, and these are high vibrations of 2. And so I feel like when you need peace, you can go to your ancestors. When you are going through situations that have really rattled you within because you are so receptive to energies and experiences of others, you can ground in knowing that you are protected, you're not alone, and assistance and guidance is always available to you. Next to new beginnings, we have helpful and persevering. And so it wasn't easy to get to this new beginning, right? But it's because you were a helpmate to yourself in your life, because you are that helper, because you show up for so many others. You had the ability to push and to persevere through many challenging situations, and you are prepared for this new beginning. You're just responsible, and what you desire for others is coming to fruition for you, right? And in the end, you can count on joy. All right. And then this was an extra card that came out, but I'm just going to read it in case it resonates. Controlling, superior, and manipulative. If these are energies that you had to come against, and if these are energies that were obstacles for you, because other people, places, and things were carrying this, projecting it on you, and then that's what you had to persevere through, congratulations, by staying true to you and always walking in your own integrity. At the bottom, we have easily offended, doormat, self-deprecating. So Spirit is saying that you are leaving this place where people walk all over you. You know what I mean? You give so much and you get nothing back. Spirit is saying joy is here now, right? But you had to lose power. Your power had to be abused. It had to be lost. It had to be mistreated for you to know how to nurture yourself and keep your stability fluid, no matter what you were going through, right? So when we get into those lower vibrations, that's an indication that something needs to change. We're in the wrong place with the wrong person doing the wrong thing. Any three of those can be true, or all three of them can be true. All right. So we start our 9-card spread with the 2 of Swords. And I feel that, this 2 of Swords, so we know that we're going to a new beginning. We know what we desire, but sometimes it is so scared to understand how to take the first step in the direction that we want to go in. And so this is not wanting to make a decision because you don't have you don't trust in your ability to make the right decision. So it's something so you haven't made it, you won't make it, you're not ready to make it, you don't want to see how to make it. This is just like, I'd rather be at a stalemate, a standstill. Now, before the 2 of Swords, we have, and this is 2. Remember, that's you. You guys cooperate, you adapt. This is the energy of not wanting to do that mentally. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to consider it, right? I don't want to make a plan. This is like not doing what you are very good at doing. Now, before that, we have the Ace of Swords. So this is divine intervention that comes in the form of clarity, truth, understanding, right? And so if there were things that you didn't know, it was made known to you. Now, did that make you or help you choose? We don't know, right? And so, this Ace of Swords is in the row with the ancestors. And so I feel like truth is available to you. Clarity is available to you when you understand that you have help in the stars, right? And so when you get that help, what are you going to do with it? All right. Oh, joke's on me. There's 2 here. Okay. So, right. So we're in the stalemate. On one side, Spirit is revealing something. Our ancestors are attempting to connect with us and reveal something to us. On the other side, we have this 2 of Cups, right? This relationship that appears to be, what's that word? Consensual. Right? 2 people offering their cups. They want to pursue something. Sometimes I hear it's soulmate, whatever, divinely guided. But if this is not a relationship that you are offering yourself to, this could be you offering yourself to your higher self that works with your ancestors, right? So this is you and your higher self collaborating with your ancestors as you move into this next phase. This Ace of Swords could be what revealed itself to you, right? The way we get out of this 2 of Swords energy is by accepting divine help and working with it, right? Let's see what's next. Now, beneath Okay, now something else is coming about. So beneath this Ace of Swords, this truth, this clarity, this being able to see and know without a doubt, we have Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords talks about, being stabbed in the back, like literally being betrayed. And so I felt like, in 10, like this didn't happen once or twice. Like 10 is the end of a cycle, but you've been in this cycle where you've been in situations with other people at places doing things, and you literally have felt attacked and targeted. Like, are people out to get you? Right? But Spirit is saying, because you always were true to you, because you were always helpful, and because you persevered, because you always offered yourself to situations, no matter what you endured, you didn't hold that, right? You didn't carry baggage from one experience to the next. Like, you are actually ready for a new beginning. This cycle is over. Now it's time to prepare for something that is like you. This is where you get to find your equal, right? Okay. So we have betrayal, a cycle of betrayal, defeat, people literally trying to end you. Spiritually, energetically, mentally, doesn't matter. Followed by the Page of Cups. So this is a new offer. This is a message of love of some sort. Oh, here we go. So then we have Judgment, right? This is where we knew not to respond or to treat people how they treated us, because we knew something bigger was in control, right? And so we decided, you know what? If that's how you want to treat me, if that's how you see me, that's fine. I know who I am. Something bigger will judge you, right? God is watching. The divine sees all. Even if I don't know what's happening, I can trust that retribution will come, and I don't have to do anything, right? So I feel like before you got to this stalemate, you were always offering something to the wrong situations, wrong people, wrong places, wrong things. But because you were always so pure and so giving and loving, and your intentions were good, no matter what happened to you, judgment comes in, and now it's time for this new beginning. Not only is this a new beginning with what is still to come, but right now this new beginning is happening with divine assistance, right? This is where we get the truth about who we are. This is where we decide, like, are we going to pursue relationships with those that represent who we know we are today and not who we were yesterday, right? So this is choosing to maintain our peacefulness and sensitivity, because those are higher aspects of us, and not lose them in dark situations, right? Because people would love to hurt you so much that you just lock your gifts up and put them away, But it's your choice. Do you want to become bitter in this 3D world, or do you want to become better and align yourself with your spiritual health? Now, above this Ace of Swords, we have the 10 of Cups. Can you imagine? So you go from 10 swords to 10 cups. This is unconditional love, and betrayal. Obviously, there's no love here. And so whatever this cycle was, whatever was taking place, Spirit is saying the new beginnings that are awaiting you are not going to be anything that feels familiar to you based on your past, right? Unconditional love is the truth that you pursue. You are clear about what you want. And 10 swords later, you absolutely are sure that you know who you are, where you come from, and what you desire, right? Okay. So after this unconditional love, if this is something, if this it's under the Ace of Swords. So Spirit is saying that you know what you want and it's available to you. And you had to go through these 10 of Swords experiences to be clear and honest with yourself about what you deserve and what will truly bring you happiness, right? This 8 of Wands, I feel like this is saying that you realize that you quickly need to create boundaries And you need to, when you're in situations that don't reflect who you are, when you are getting less than what you deserve, I feel like this Eight of Wands is representing the momentum at which you need to get out, speak up, not tolerate. You know what I mean? I feel like Spirit is saying, now you know how to move. Now you know how to communicate and go after what it is you want when you have. So here's the Seven of Swords. This can talk about stealing, lying, cheating, sneaking away. And I feel like Spirit is saying, here we have unconditional love. Here we have, you know, deceitful energy, right? But in the middle, we have this energetic momentum. And I feel like Spirit is asking you, one, to choose, right? Because you're sitting in this stalemate energy and it's time for you to communicate something. It's time for you to progress. It's time for you to capitalize on an energy that's available to you. You've been given the truth about a connection or your connections that you've been in with people that have felt like defeat, right? So you're leaving this energy. This energy is going because you realize the power in you. You realize what you want, what you desire, and that the way to get it is not by doing what you've always done. And so when you get in situations, sometimes when we are in fear, we can freeze, we can fight, or we can take flight. But freeze is the newer one. Sometimes that is a trauma response. Like you can't do anything, you just freeze. You probably won't remember many details after. But nonetheless, I feel like Spirit is saying that now when situations come that are harming us, we know the difference between what we do want and don't want. But there is a momentum that we had to learn. There's a way to communicate our wants and our needs. There's a way to go after it and not accept less, right? And so we're not going to be doormats anymore, right? We're not going to give so much of ourselves to people that don't deserve it, right? And sometimes if we become easily offended, it's because we're not doing the work on our own, and then we want to get mad at people for not treating us right. But we are our first partner, right? And so this stalemate energy needs to be nixed, and we need to be able to communicate what we desire. And what we desire is unconditional love. We want a relationship that empowers us, that nurtures us, that stabilizes us to our core. We no longer want connections with people that are deceitful. Like we don't want people who don't represent who we are. We're not reclusive. Like we like to come out and play and support and love. But after enough bad experiences, we tend to lose that gift. And, that's what motivates us, but we can shut it down because of pain. And so I feel like you always have a choice about what you cooperate and participate in. Are we looking for the unconditional love of self and others because it empowers us? Or are we going to be robbing ourselves first before others start to rob us of the experiences that we really desire, right? So when you leave this and move towards your choice and capitalize on energy, Spirit is saying it will bring you joy. This is a new beginning, but it was really about a beginning of how you cooperated with yourself, right? And now that you have internally fixed that, it will reflect in the relationships and experiences that you have on the outside. At the bottom of the deck, we have Sun. And so that goes along with joy, happiness, right? This is about like the sun finally coming out, like no more dark days, no more moments where we feel trapped, frozen, in situations that aren't even energetically true to our authenticity, right? Happiness is here for you. New beginnings, like you will flourish. You'll be in situations that are nurturing, that build you up, that are uplifting. not only do you know that those connections are coming, but you also know that your ancestors are the first relationship that you can rely on when you're learning to have to relate to yourself, right? Like you have support in the heavens. Okay, twos, I hope that was beneficial. And this was Soul Urge number 2. All right, guys, take care.